This is a journey into sound. A journey which along the way will bring to you new color, new dimension, new value, and a new experience.
Welcome to the Spot Podcast. I'm your guide, Katie Silcox, bringing you your weekly self-love soundbite. Join us for conversations around sex, spirit, and all things self-care. All things self-care. All things self-care.
This is a journey into sound.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro.
You are a G-Spot Podcast with Katie Silcox.
Hey everybody, Katie here. Happy spring. I'm in beautiful Virginia looking out at the white tulips and the bright neon pink dogwoods and just feeling so happy to be here and to be alive and to be reasonably healthy. And I hope that this finds you really, really healthy as well. I have a really sweet, practical podcast for you guys today. I want to talk about parsley. I know, really sexy topic today, guys, but seriously, it is. You know, I have just come from doing a really long cleanse, a very long cleanse, in fact, a 2-week Panchakarma with my friends Pema and Regaya over at Blue Sage, who are incredible and dear, dear brothers and sisters. And of the many, many things we discussed and shared, one was really pertinent for you all and super easy. And I wanted to come on the podcast to talk about it. So I got introduced to this practice by Regaya at Blue Sage. And then I started to do my own research on it with some of my books. And what prompted me to do the podcast is that Regaya and I were speaking, and he said so many of the issues that people come to Western medicine for a little, not always, but mid to later in life are totally preventable. And this parsley thing is really profound when it comes to releasing stones through the urinary tract. As you know, these kidney stones and urinary stones can build up as we consume, especially if we eat animal products. That can build up over time. And, that's that's normal, right? One could say. But what the ancients understood was that we had to mitigate some of these effects. And luckily, nature helps us do that if we are seasonally really diligent with our practices. So right now, if you're in my neck of the woods, which many of you are, so sorry to our Australian and New Zealand friends. But in many places right now, we are in that exaltation of the beginning of spring. And nature gives us these greens, right, to help us counteract the heaviness and dampness that does build up, even if you don't eat meat, but especially if you do, like meat, cheese, wheat. These are all really heavy things. And if you're like me, if 2020 kind of kicked your bootangus, you may have used some soothing therapies that were not helpful for you, aka, cheese pizza, or some of you out there like the wine, or, whatever your flavor, ice cream. I mean, come on. It's so hard not to, right? Like, how fun is it to watch The Voice and eat ice cream? It's just super fun. But we have to know how to, let's say, fiercely antidote while we, try to do those fun, yummy things in moderation. So spring is the time when we really have to, let's just for ease's sake say, we have to pay up. And we're going to pay up with parsley. And it's actually really enjoyable and really fun. So to just go back to what Ragai and I were speaking of, it's heartbreaking that so many of these conditions that even can lead to greater degradation of the vital organ of our kidneys and adrenals and urinary system it's preventable. And guys, it's freaking almost free. How much does a bundle of parsley cost? It's like, I don't know, $2 or less. So you're going to need 5. Okay, I'm going to walk you through it. And then Amarie will throw up a little reminder in the show notes if you're listening and you can't take notes. So let's talk about parsley a little bit from an Ayurvedic perspective. It's slightly warming, but not too much. It's a little bit pungent, definitely bitter, and a little bit salty. So it helps reduce kapha. It improves our digestion, and it's specifically good for detoxifying meat or fish poisoning. So that's why in traditional societies, parsley was used a lot in meat dishes. It is an incredible source of nutrition. It has several times the vitamin C of oranges. And that's like really, really not known, right? It's one of our best sources of vitamin A, chlorophyll, calcium, sodium, magnesium, and iron, so those good trace minerals. It promotes urination and helps dry up that watery mucoid stuff that in Ayurveda we call ama, right? And so it's used traditionally for the treatment of obesity, mucus in the bladder, swollen glands and breasts, stones in the bladder, kidney, and gallbladder. So prescribed for lots of kidney and urinary difficulties. But in terms of what we're working with seasonally, it really is one of the best things we can be taking to help move stagnation, heaviness out of the body, which is what we want to do in the springtime. There's an amazing book I'm obsessed with right now. We'll put the link in the show notes. I was speaking with my best friend. She was like, I can't believe you don't have this book. It's called Healing with Whole Foods. It's huge. Paul Pitchford, but amazing. Every witch should have it in her apothecary. And so Paul Pitchford talks about parsley being able to strengthen the adrenal glands and help your brain and optical nerves. Wow, really cool. Strengthens teeth. Okay, all these great things. You can get that book or look it up and read about it. I mean, Ragai gave me another thing on parsley from the Earthwise Herbal, and the name parsley comes from the Greek meaning celery of the rocks. I love that. Parsley is one of the 5 opening roots of traditional Greek and Arabic medicine. What? It's super important. It's used to move obstructions, to the movement of blood, lymph, sweat, urine, stool, and menstrual blood. So all that amazing functionality. So parsley, what I want to emphasize for you guys, if you want to do this, it's not, I mean, you could call it a parsley cleanse, but you eat your normal, healthy way, is that it helps reduce those kidney stones and can even dissolve them and move them out of the body. So this is amazing. It actually has a lot of sodium, and the buildup of sodium in those internal waters of your body helps strengthen that movement of the stagnant waters and really helps rejuvenate your kidneys. So parsley, it just helps move these congealed fluids and breaks up stones. And I'm just loving this because I'm imagining why I'm doing a whole podcast on it, guys, instead of just a little post on Instagram. Why I want to do a podcast on this is I'm literally imagining because a lot of our listeners are in their 20s, 30s, 40s. We also have listeners in their 50s, 60s, 70s. Okay, we do, because I'm hearing about it all the time. It's amazing. I love that we have such a broad audience. But what I'm really imagining is you younger folks sharing this super easy thing with your family, with your parents, with your grandparents, because these are the folks that we really want to help support. And this is such a basic, simple remedy that can really help And of course, we are not doctors. We do not provide medical advice, but this is really useful information. And I encourage you to do the research on it. It's just an amazing tea for spring. Okay, so I hope I've convinced you. And now what I'm going to do is, we're going to link to Ayurveda Blue Sage, where Regaya actually has a video of him and he's super hunky. So you can watch him doing it if it's like, oh, I really want to see someone doing it. But basically all you need is a head of parsley, around 3 or 4 cups of water, a strainer, and a pot. And then you're just going to bring that water to a hard boil, turn it down a little bit, and let it soft boil for about a minute, and then add the parsley. And then you're just on that very soft boil, gonna let the parsley stay in there for about 4 minutes. And you kind of gotta watch, put a timer on. And then, strain it. And then you can divide that parsley water into 3 servings, and you can drink it throughout the day, ideally like an hour before each meal, so not with food. Right? Okay, it's literally that simple. And I recommend you do it for about 5 days. That's really a good amount of time. And that's how long I did it. Really easy stuff, guys. All right, beauties. Lastly, I know it's amazing. We are already open for business 2022, back by popular demand. Ayurveda School, Level 1. Early bird. It's happening now, and it's only through September this year. We put it up early this year because people asked us to please let them sign up. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'm so excited. We love this program. As you guys know, 2021 ladies are amazing. I just freaking love our school. Of course, you always love your own baby, but early bird, it's up. I know a lot of our listeners are like, oh my God, I really want to do it. And you're just waiting. And I encourage you not to wait any longer. This is really, I feel like a home for so many of you. So please join us there. And thank you for listening to the Ghee Spot. I hope this was super practical, super cool. Post us something on Instagram and let us know how it goes. All right, ladies and gents, have a great day.
फूटे फूल अपन सुखे फूटे फूल